Our top story tonight. Iran is holding its own nuclear disarmament conference under the slogan, nuclear energy for all, nuclear weapons for no one. It comes on the heels of Monday's summit in Washington, to which Tehran was not invited. RT's Daniel Bushel's been following the event today for us.
Iran's supreme leader this morning opened up the conference with a call to the world saying Iran's nuclear program is entirely peaceful. His speech was read out by an advisor who said that nuclear weapons are actually contrary to the laws of Islam. President Ahmadinejad then opened up with a big threat to actually leave the International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, because of what he called double standards. First of all, America continues to work with its nuclear weapons, he claimed, and America should in fact be suspended from that organization. And also the fact that countries like Israel are not checked by the IAEA, he said, because they are not members of that organization. He called for a new start, a new world body that would look over all countries' nuclear programs. Experts say that many countries, in fact, here support Iran's push.
What Iran tries to do, it wants to undermine the global image, the impact of the nuclear security summit that just happened in Washington. It is very symbolic that there were 47 states in Washington plus 3 international organizations, and now there are about 60 countries participating in Tehran. So Iran is trying to make an impression that the United States is not the global agenda setter in the field of nuclear security. And secondly, Iran wants to show that there is no overwhelming international support for the sanctions.
Russia has traditionally been considered an ally of Iran, but it feels tricked by what it sees as Iran going back on its promises not to enrich uranium in the country, rather than, for example, export it for enrichment to Russia or France. The IAEA has proven that Tehran is trying to do so. As a result, Moscow is moving towards what so-called smart sanctions that would target only Iran's Revolutionary Guard, an elite organization close to the president, which in fact owns thousands of corporations through Iran. The current sanctions, which US imposes a ban on oil trading, is seen by most studies to have brought hardship to the Iranian people, but that in fact has had the opposite effect of hardening and strengthening support for nationalist politicians like Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. Experts say Tehran can still avoid sanctions if it goes with its international obligations.
First of all, if Tehran agrees to reprocess the enriched uranium on the territory of Russia and France, I think sanctions can be avoided. But on the other hand, Russia is for smart sanctions if Tehran do not comply. At this point, Iran is not violating the Non-Proliferation Treaty, but it's definitely violating the additional protocol, and it is violating at least a couple of the Security Council resolutions that should not be tolerated.
Russia is helping to build Iran's first nuclear power plant in a place called Bushehr in the south of the country. That is completely unlinked to its nuclear weapons program, and most would agree, even America, that Iran has the right to a peaceful nuclear program, but some see using that power plant as a cover to develop and build a nuclear bomb.